So this is the class is regarding the Constitution of India list of all articles number 1 to 395 and parts 1 to 22. So Constitution of India contains 395 articles in 22 parts. Additional articles and parts are inserted later through various amendments. There are also 12 scheduled in the Indian Constitution. Those who are looking for a summary of the Indian Constitution, the post might be the right place to start with. Links are given against each part to the understand purpose and background of each article of the Indian Constitution of India. The post can be seen as a ready recognized index of the Constitution of India. Titles are mentioned for all articles from 1 to 395, separated under various parts and chapters. Preamble and repeal article are post specially mentioned. Preamble says, "We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thoughts, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among all fraternity, assuming the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constitution Assembly, the 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution." So part 1, the Union and its territory. Number 1, name and territory of the Union. Number 2, admission or establishment of new states. 2a, that is repealed. Number 3, formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries, or names of existing states. Number 4, laws made under Article 2 and 3 to provide for the amendment of the first and fourth schedule and supplemental, accidental, and consequential matters. Right. Part 2. Number 5, citizenship at the commencement of the Constitution. Number 6, rights to citizenship of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan. Number 7, rights of citizenship of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan. Number 8, rights of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India. Number 9, persons voluntarily acquiring citizenship of foreign state not to be citizens. Number 10, constitution of the rights of citizenship. And number 11, parliament to regulate the right of citizenship by laws. Part 3, fundamental rights general. Part 12, Article 12, definition. Number 13, laws inconsistent with or in derogation with the fundamental rights. Next is right to equality. Number 14, equality before law. Number 15, prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Number 16, equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Number 17, abolition of untouchability. Number 18, abolition of titles. Next is right to freedom. Article 19 says protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. Number 20, protection in respect of conviction of offences. Protection in respect of conviction of offences. Number 20 was protection of life and personal liberty. Number 2 in 22, protection against arrest and detention in certain areas. Next is rights against exploitation. Now 23 says prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. Number 21 says prohibition of employment of children in factories, etc. Right to freedom of religion. Number 25 says freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. Number 26 says freedom to manage religious affairs. Number 27 says freedom as to payment of taxes for promotion of any particular religion. Number Article 21 which says freedom as the attendance of the religious institution of religious worship in certain educational institutions. And cultural and educational rights, we have Article 29 that says protecting of interest of minorities. Number Article 30 says right of minorities to establish and administer educational institution. Article 31 repealed. Saving of certain laws. Article 31A says saving of laws provides for acquisition of estate, etc. Article 31B says validation of certain acts and regulations. Article 31C says saving of laws giving effect to certain directive principles. Article 31D repealed. Right to constitutional remedies. Article 32 remedies for enforcement of rights conferred by this part. Article 20A repealed. Article 33 says power of parliament to modify the rights conferred by the part in their application to forces, etc. Article 34 says restriction on rights conferred by this part while marital law is in force in any area. Article 35 says legislation to give effect to the provisions of this part. Now we are going to the next part, that is directive principles of the state policy, DPSP. Article 36 says definition. Article 37 says application of the principle contained in this part. Article 38 said states to secure a social order for the promotion of welfare of the people. Article 39 says certain principles of policy to be followed by the states. Article 39 says equal justice and free legal aid. Article 40 says organization of the village panchayat. Article 41 says right to work, to education and to public assistance in certain cases. Article 42 says provision for just and human conditions of work. Article 43 says living wage, etc. for workers. Article 43 says participation of workers in management of the industrial. Article 44 says uniform civil code for the citizens. Article 45 says provision for free and compulsory education for children. Article 46 says promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other workers section. Article 47 says duty of the states to raise the level of the nutrition and the standard of living and to improve public health. Article 48 says organization of the agriculture and animal husbandry. Article 48 says protection and improvement of the environment and safeguarding of forest and wildlife. Article 49 says protection of monuments and places and objects of the national importance. Article 50 says separation of judiciary from executive. Article 51 says promotion of international peace and security. Article 4A says fundamental duties. What is the fundamental duties? Article 51 says fundamental duties. Article part 5 the union. Article part 5 the union. Chapter 1 the executive, the president and vice president. Number 52 the president of India. Number 53 executive power of the union. Number 54 election of the president. Number 55 manner of election of president. Number 56 term of office of president. Number 57 eligibility of the re-election. Number 55 qualification for elections as president. Number 59 says conditions of the president's office. Number 60 says oath or affirmation by the president. Number 61 procedure for impeachment of the president. Number 62 time of holding election to fill vacancy in the office. of the president and the term of office a person elected to fill casual menancy. Article 63 says the vice president of India. Article 64 says the vice president to be ex officio chairman of the council of the states. Article 65 says the vice president to the act as president or to the discharge his function during casual vacancies in the office or during the absence of president in the president. Number 66 says election of vice president. Number 67 says term of office of vice president. Number 68 says time of holding election to fill vacancy in the office of vice president and the term of office of the person elected to fill casual vacancy. Number 69 says oath or affirmation by the vice president. Number 70 discharge of president's function in other contingencies. Number 71 matters related to or connected with the election of a president or vice president. Number 72 power a president to grant pardons, etc., and to suspend, remit, or commute sentence in certain cases. Right. Number 73 says extent of executive power of the union. Number next is Council of Ministers. Number 74 says Council of Ministers to aid and advise President. Number 75 says other provisions as to ministers. The Attorney General of India. Number 76 Attorney General of India. Conduct of government business. Number 77 says conduct of business of the government of India. Article 73 duties of the Prime Minister as respect to the furnishing of the information to the President, etc. Chapter 2 Parliament. General 79 Constitution of Parliament. 80 Composition of the Council of States. Number 81 Composition of the House of People. Number 82 Readjustment after each census. Number 83 Duration of Houses of Parliament. Number 84 Qualification for membership of the Parliament. Number 85 Sessions of Parliament, propagation and dissolution. Number 80 says right of president to address and send messages to the houses. Number 87 says special address by the president. Number 88 says rights of ministers and attorney general as respected hours. The next head is Officers of Parliament. 89 the chairman and deputy chairman of the Council of States. 90 says vacation and resignation of and removal from the office of deputy chairman. Number 91 says power of the deputy chairman or other person to perform the duties of the office of or to act as chairman. Article 92 says the chairman or the deputy chairman not to preside while a resolution for this removal from office is under consideration. Article 93 says the speaker and deputy speaker of the House of the People. Article 94 says vacation and resignation of and removal from the office of speaker and deputy speaker. Article 95 says power of the deputy speaker or the other person to person the duties of the officer or to act as a speaker. Article 96 says the speaker of the speaker of the deputy speaker and not to preside while a resolution for its removal from the office is under consideration. Article 97 says salary allows for the chairman and deputy chairman and the speaker and deputy speaker. Article 98 says secretariat of the parliament. Conduct of business. Article 90 says oath or affirmation of by members. Article 100 says voting in houses. Power of houses to act notwithstanding vacancies and quorum. So disqualification of members. The heading is disqualification of members. Article 101 vacation of seats. Article 102 disqualification of membership. Article 103 decision of questions as to disqualification of members. Article 104 penalty for sitting and voting before making oath or affirmation under Article 99 or when not qualified on when disqualified. The next is powers, privileged and immunities of parliament and its members. 105 powers, privilege, etc. of the Houses of Parliament and of the members and committees thereof. Article 106 says salaries and allowances of the members. Next heading is legislative procedure. Article 107 provision as to introduction and passing of bills. Article 108 joint sitting of both houses in certain cases. Article 109 special procedure in respect of money bills. Article 110 definition of money bills. Article 111 assent to bills. The next article head is procedure in financial matters. 202 annual financial statement. Article 203 procedure in legislative with respect to estimates. Article 204 appropriation bills. Article 205 supplementary, additional or excess grants. Article 206 votes on account, votes of credit and exceptional grants. Article 207 says special provision as to financial bills. Article next reading is procedure generally. Article 208 says rules of procedure. Article 209 regulation by law of procedure in the legislature of the state in relation to the financial business. Article 210 language to be used in the legislature. Article 211 says restriction of discussion in the legislature. Article 212 courts not to be inquired into the proceedings of the legislature. Article 4 legislative power of the governor. Article 213 power of governor to promulgate ordinances during recess of legislature. Article 5 says the high courts in the states. High courts in the states. Article 214 says high courts for states. Article 215 high courts to be courts of record. Article 216 constitution of the high court. Article 217 appointment and conditions of the office of a judge of a high court. Article 218 application of certain provision relating to Supreme Court to High Courts. Article 219 oath or affirmation by judges of High Courts. Article 210 restriction on practice after being a permanent judge. Article 212 salaries etc. of judges. Article 222 transfer of a judge from one high court to another. Article 223 appointment of acting chief justice. Article 224 appointment of additional and acting judges. Article 224A appointment of retired judges at sitting of high courts. 225 jurisdiction of existing high court. Article 226 power of high courts to issue certain writs. Article 226A repealed. Article 227 power of superintendence over all courts by the High Court. Article 228 transfer of certain cases to High Court. Article 228A repealed. Article 229 officers and servants and the expenses of High Courts. 230 extension of jurisdiction of High Courts to Union territories. 231 establishment of a common High Court of two or more states. Chapter 6 subordinate courts. 233 appointment of district judges. 233A validation of the appointments and judgment etc. delivered by certain district judges. 234 recruitment of the person other than district judges to the judicial service. 235 control over subordinate courts. Article 236 interpretation. Article 237 application of the provisions of this chapter to certain class or classes of magistrates. Part 7 the states in the parts of the first schedule. Part 7 says the states in the part B of the first schedule. 238 repealed. Part 8 the union and the union territories. Article 239 says administration of union territories. Article 239A creation of local legislature or council of minister or both for certain union territories. Article 239A special provision with respect to Delhi. Article 239A provision in case of failure of constitutional machinery. Article 239AB power of administrator to promulgate ordinances during recess of legislature. Article 240 says power of president to make regulations for certain union territories. Article 241 high courts for union territories. Article 244 was repealed. Part 9 the panchayats. 243 definitions. 243A Gram Sabha. 243B constitution of the panchayats. 243C composition of the panchayats. 243D reservation of seats. 243E duration of panchayats etc. 243F disqualification for members. 243G powers, authority and responsibilities of a panchayat. 243H powers to impose tax by and funds of the panchayats. 243I Constitution of Finance Commission to review the financial position. Article 243J Audit of accounts of panchayats. Article 243K Election to the panchayats. Article 243L Application to union territories. Article 243M Part not to apply the certain cases areas. But Article 233N Constitutions of existing laws and panchayats. Article 243O Bar to inference by courts in electoral matters. Part 9A The Municipalities. 243P Definitions. 243Q Constitution of Municipalities. Article 243I Composition of Municipalities. Article 243S Constitution and Composition of Wards, Committees, etc. 243T Reservation of seats. Article 233B Duration of municipalities, etc. 243V Disqualifications for membership. 243W Powers to impose taxes by and funds of the municipalities. 243X Power to impose tax by and funds of the municipalities. Article 243 Finance Commission. 243 Z Audit of accounts of municipalities. Article 243 ZA Elections to the municipalities. Article 243 ZB Application to the union territories. Article 243 ZC Part not to apply to certain areas. Article 243 ZD Committee for District Panel Planning. 243 ZE Committee for Metropolitan Planning. Article 243 ZF Constitution of the existing laws and municipalities. 243 2G Bar to inference by courts in electoral matters. Part 9 The Schedule and Tribal Areas. 244 Administration of Scheduled Areas and Tribal Areas. Article 244A Formation of autonomous states corresponding certain tribal areas in Assam and creation of local legislature of council and ministers of both therefore. Article 11 Relations between the Union and the States. Chapter 1 Legislative Relation. Distribution of legislative power. Article 245 Extent of laws made by the Parliament and by the legislature of states. Article 246 Subject matter of laws made by the Parliament and by the legislature of the states. Article 247 says power of Parliament to provide for the establishment of certain additional courts. Article 248 Residuary power of regulation. Article 249 Power of Parliament to legislate with respect to a matter in the state in the national interest. Article 250 Power of Parliament to legislate with respect to any matter in the state. List of proclamation of emergency is in operation. Article 251 Inconsistency between laws made by the Parliament under Article 249 and 250 laws made by the legislative states, and 252 Power of Parliament to legislate for two or more states by consent and adoption of such legislation by any other state. Article 253 Legislation for giving effect to the international agreements. Article 254 says inconsistency between laws made by the Parliament and laws made by the legislature of the states. Article 255 Requirement as to recommendation and provision sanctions to regarded as the matters of procedure only. Chapter 2 Administrative Relations General. 256 Obligation of State and the Union. 257 Control of the Union over states in certain areas. 257A Repeat. 258 Power of Union to confer powers etc. on states in the certain cases. 255A Power of the states to entrust functions of the Union. 255 9 Repeal. 266 Jurisdiction of the Union in relation to the territories outside India. 261 Public Acts, Records and Judicial Proceedings. So the class is now ending that in these things, and we will discuss about chapter 2 administrative relations in the next chapter.